Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to MIDHANI Limited Q2 FY23 earnings conference call hosted by ICICI Securities Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during this conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Amit Dixit from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Dixit.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of ICICI Securities, I welcome all the participants for MIDHANI Limited Q2 FY23 Concall. At the outset, I would like to thank the management for giving us an opportunity to host this call. From the management side, we have with us Dr. Sanjay Kumar Jha, Chairman and Managing Director, and Shri N. Gauri Sankara Rao, Director Finance. Without much ado, I would hand over the call to Dr. Jha to take this forward. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to all investors joining for this meeting. And before proceeding for your questions, I'll just try to give an overview of what we have achieved in this up to the quarter 2. And Q2 results already it is out, and the major significant outcome of our this Q2 report is VOP. There is a significant increase compared from the last year's QOP of around 41%, and also we had, in spite of having a lot of additional expenditure coming out from due to higher cost of the raw material, power, the company has maintained the profit almost similar to whatever is the previous year. And also we had, if you can see our result, even though the sales is slightly marginally on the lower side, I am talking about in the first half, we have kept the profit at the level of similar level. Almost the PBT is around 2.6% higher only compared to the last year. And considering that, only the PAT is slightly on the lower side, very less difference. So these things are, the data is available. In addition to that, I would like to mention some of the other highlights during this period, where we have established the number of products coming out from the white plate mill, and in that some of the noteworthy developments in the white plate mill operation is production of nickel-based superalloy plates, which we have made some export also using that facility. And we are also seeing the development of another nickel-based superalloys required for our indigenous production of desulfurization unit required for various power plants which is operating in the country. So that sheets also we have developed successfully, and now we are expecting that the entire quantity which is being imported as on today in the country, we can fulfill the requirements coming out from this facility only. Developments are connected with installation of white plate mill, and also, as we have told previously, that 8-ton vacuum induction melting also got fully all started. So combination of those two equipments have given this outcome. In addition to that, your company also has developed the armor steels, which is being used for vehicle armoring in our Rohtak facility, and there also we have got the almost armoring of around 100 number of vehicles. Out of that, already 15 numbers have been rolled out from the factory, and balance are under various stage of the fabrication. So the steel is being made in our new installation of white plate mill. In addition to that, we are also trying to see that the requirements of armored steel used in various applications of our armored tanks and other ordnance factory, erstwhile ordnance factory requirements, we can meet from this facility. In this period, in recently conducted Defense Expo, we have launched 6 different new products, which includes, as I said, superalloyed, nickel-based superalloyed sheets, then titanium cones which we have exported, and also some of the grades of special materials. So these are the highlights coming out from this two first and second quarter. So I would, and during this period also we have made some of the important MOUs we have signed in recently concluded Defense Expo, which includes a business cooperation agreement with Boeing in the area of raw materials, which is being used in manufacture of various type of components in India for their supply chain and in supply chain elsewhere. So these are the nutshell. I have just put the brief things here. Anything special afterwards? Now I'll request you to give your queries based on this performance of the company.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Aditya Deora from Divisha Investments. Please go ahead.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, very good afternoon.
Sir, you had mentioned in your opening remarks also that the value of production has gone up for this half year, and I guess even for the last financial year also the value of production had gone up. But sir, we are not seeing the corresponding increase in sales, and as a result our inventory has moved from around 800 crores at the end of financial year 21 to maybe 1091 crore at the end of financial year 22, and it has moved to 1280 crores for this half year. So sir, when do we expect that we are able to build this inventory that we have built up?
The inventory is a very important part, means important issues which we are dealing with day-to-day basis. But the major reason for the inventory increase, build up in the inventory, is mainly because of raw material also, because the raw material costs have gone up. So we have to also stock some of the requirements coming out required for the nickel-based alloys. And earlier our production of nickel-based alloys were very less. Now the requirement has gone up for super alloy production. So therefore it adds to the inventory in a very high value material, and which is nickel. This is the one first part. And second part, that of course the WIP, which already you have mentioned, which I have already told that it is the whatever VOP has been built up, and you said the last year also it was like that. So if you see the performance of the previous year also, the Q3 and Q4, there is a substantial increase in the sales. So I expect that whatever you have seen now, it will translate into the sales in the coming months. And another part is that this year, since our Rohtak facility also started working, so partly there also the WIP has been built up. So there also you have to provide some of the materials which we are depending on the outside, on the import, also raw material. So there also there is some amount of inventory is required to maintain our production on time.
Sir, for this financial year, how much sales growth are we budgeting?
Pardon?
For this financial year, how much, means like what kind of sales growth are we expecting? Our internal targets?
Our internal target is around 1,000 crores.
Is it the value of production or the sales?
Sales I am talking. I am not talking about it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Ankit Shah from White Equity Investments. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question. In Q2 F22 conference call, the management had talked about having a fixed asset turnover of about 2x from projects such as the white plate mill and the Rohtak plant. However, later on, it was changed to potential revenues of 500 crores from white plate mill and 100 crores from Rohtak plant, which results in a fixed asset turnover of 1x. So can you throw some light on this discrepancy and help us understand this better?
You said that management has projected 500 crores of revenue in current financial year.
No, last year in one of the calls, management had said that we will have a fixed asset turnover of 2 times from white plate and Rohtak plant.
I understood the question. What we have projected that once this mill is established fully, we can expect the revenue of around 500 crores from the white plate mill. And now this mill is still under, you say, this on trial. Trial means that we are making the products one by one, we are moving towards. Once we go to the full scale of, because any project you cannot get the full scale of operation in the first year of itself. So this year we will be seeing, means like trials are getting conducted, and initially if you see the first quarter there was no addition much from the white plate mill. Second quarter it has improved, and third and fourth we will see the further increase in the revenue coming from white plate mill. Coming to the Rohtak also started giving in this quarter only, second quarter only we have got some addition, the revenue. Third, fourth, again we will see the major change, because as I said, things are now in the area of that production. We have around 70-80 vehicles are there for armoring. Then we have the jackets for 1500 also to execute. So these things are moving on now, and that increase will be there. But the complete 500 crores, we are expecting that from the next financial year only will start coming, once our entire all the products range are established.
Right. Sir, the peak revenues from these two plants will be 500 crores and 100 crores, or will it be higher?
This is our estimation. See, our estimations we have kept like this. But higher is, possibility is there, it can go higher also, but we cannot say right now. With the current market scenario and our execution capacity, we have given this figure. And as we progress, suppose you got a order where your value addition is much higher, that means sales of the product is very high because of the high value items. It can go increase, but it all depends on what is the market scenario in that case.
Right. And this 500 crores assumes what kind of capacity utilization? Would it be like close to full utilization, or would it be lower?
It is full utilization.
Full utilization. Okay, that's helpful. Sir, next question is on the LCA opportunity. In the previous call, you had shared that we are awaiting certification for supplying certain raw materials for the LCA order. So by when can we expect to get these certifications? And what would be the potential order size post the certifications are received?
LCA order already certification is awaited only for couple of items. 2-3 items are there for which. But more or less, whatever we are supplying now is already certified. Items are certified, and we are supplying.
Okay. And once these 2-3 item certifications also come in, what would be the potential order size from the LCA opportunity? Let's say per aircraft.
I cannot. We see those items which I have told. It is not only exclusively for LCA. It can go for other requirements also, because the materials are used, common materials are used in the different areas. So we are in the mode of now developing those items, the products. So based on our outcome and the cost of production, the order will be placed on MIDHANI. So right now these values are difficult to predict, because their project also, there is no clarity that how much of the equipment they are going to get the orders from the services. What I mean to say, that Air Force and all.
Right. So is it possible to share some idea about the per unit order size? Just a ballpark number, just for us to understand the scale of the opportunity.
For LCA, we'll tell you that. We'll give you that input.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. The next question is on the inventory side. Can you share the amount or percentage of non-recyclable scrap that is sitting on our balance sheet? And what would be our plans for the excess scrap and potential inventory write-offs that we could be looking at in next 2-3 years? Just more color on the inventory piece if you can share.
See, whatever is the non-recyclable scrap you are talking, normally the scrap which we cannot use, we will resell. We'll sell in the market.
Auction.
We'll auction and then we'll sell. Whatever we can recycle, that only we keep with us. So, question of that scrap retaining with us does not arise. Of course, it may remain for some time till we get the right price and we get the right customer. Because the number of times if you auction and you are not getting the correct price, we will not sell. We will try to see that how maximum benefit company can get by reselling those scraps.
Adding further, certain scraps we cannot sell also. There is a government regulations are there. Certain types of scraps we cannot sell. So those stocks also, it is to be meant for internal use as and when we get such type of orders. That's why our scrap level is more. There is no non-recyclable scrap like that. Only thing as CMD is selling, we will sell the scrap wherever it is sellable. Wherever it is internally usable, because our scrap is not a simple MS scrap or SS scrap. It is a high value scrap. If I am able to use in my production process, it gives me good margin.
Fair. So this scrap is largely going to be metals, which would not require any write-offs as such.
Write-offs are not there. There is no write-offs.
Right. Got it. Sir, next question is on the exports. So how do you see exports shaping up over next, let's say 2-3 years, and any certifications that we expect to receive in the near future, this financial year or maybe next financial year, which would boost exports?
Yes, export we are doing right now. Even the certifications are not required. In that area already we are doing the export. And as you said, for certification also the work is in progress, and we expect by this year end, by mid of the next year, we will start getting the certification.
Right, right. And sir, on that basis, what would be the export potential for us? I mean, what kind of exports are we looking at for next 2-3 years?
Our export potentials are good potential is there, but only issue today is the payment conditions and pricing. So we are seeing that based on those two aspects, we are booking the export. So potential is quite good, but only thing is that you have to get the proper price as well as the payment terms also. We have number of vendors outside customers. They are asking for almost a credit-based supply system. So credit-based supply systems is not acceptable in our case. So we are looking for alternative that how we can meet their expectations by adopting certain change in our I say that business conditions.
Sure. Okay. On next question is on Su-30 MKI engines. So we understand that HAL is likely to get or HAL has potential orders for Su-30 MKI engines, about 240 engines and 80 engines for MiG-29. That order size for HAL would be around 33,000 crores. So do we see any opportunity for us, flowing from these orders?
No, Su-30 is a licensed agreement with the engine supplier to HAL. Now, question is that how much percentage they allow them to indigenize depends on the type of contract they sign. We are not aware of that. What is that their conditions in that how, on the as far as the material is concerned, but they are also looking for to indigenize it even for the existing fleet also. But then, as I said, unless the engine supplier is not giving the permission, you cannot use materials which is not certified by them. So India is looking for that sort of development, but it has not resulted in the clear-cut in the business proposition. However, developmental work MIDHANI, your company, is doing. We have taken some steps to indigenize the alloys which are very critical for Sukhoi 30 engine. So we are working towards that. When we come to the business stage, we will definitely inform to the investors.
Right, right. And on the MiG-29 engines, is it a similar situation or their Indian material is allowed?
MiG-29, I have no idea precisely what is the materials, but for other MiG-19L, we have developed the materials earlier. But whether they are going to utilize, again I say, Indian materials, it all depends on the type of contract they enter with the supplier. So for which we do not have the right information at this stage.
Sure. Sir, next question is on the pressure.
Mr. Shah, I'll request you to come back in the question queue for a follow-up question. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Venkatesh from Logic Tree Investments. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is on what is the kind of opportunity size our company can target over the next 4 to 5 years, broadly, both in terms of domestic as well as exports. And is there a company that we can benchmark ourselves with globally who's in the same space and who is probably at a significant scale or something, just for comparison?
This question is very apt question you have asked, and already as far as the benchmarking is concerned, it was done earlier, and it was seen that MIDHANI, as far as the profit percentage and all, is matching with some of the leading international manufacturers in the similar domain.
Okay.
But the volume wise, our volume is very less. So the volume depends on that how your domestic industry is growing. And you have rightly told about next 4-5 years. I see next 4-5 years scenario is very good for the entire Indian industry, which is operating in the area of defense manufacturing, because of the various policies and various steps taken by Ministry of Defense in Indianization of various equipments, platforms, materials in the area of defense. MIDHANI is also a part of that, and I feel that our growth also will be on the similar lines as you see in the other PSUs. The difference only in our case and other case that we are not indirectly getting the equipment or platform coming to us. We are basically some sort of raw material supplier going to that. And there, moment it is coming out in the raw material side, there is a lot of competition among the various manufacturers in India. And in recent past, many new entrants are there in this field. So it is not a monopolistic area. We have to be competitive. And we are also competitive today. A lot of orders we are getting on the competitive bidding only. It is not coming directly in our lab. So I think there is a good opportunity as our efficiency is going up and market also is growing. So there is a good opportunity for us to get the market. Now, what is the quantum and all? The target which has been set up by ministry that defense manufacturing should go 2 times of whatever we are doing today, almost 1,75,000 crores of turnover, and then around $5 billion of export. So we are also trying in that similar lines, and accordingly our targets also have been fixed year after year.
Right. So is it fair to expect that we could probably double our revenues over a 4-year period, sir?
Yeah, targets are there, but then we have to do a lot of work behind the scene that our infrastructure has to go up, modernization plan has to pick up, so a lot of investments are required in that area. We are working towards that.
Right, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir. I'll come back on the queue.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Romil from Electrum PMS. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah. Sir, I just want to understand a couple of things. One is on your titanium business. So, can you just explain this business? I mean, what kind of products you make? What is the process? What are the raw material sources? Some bit of margin outlook and everything on this particular part of the business.
No, this is a very fundamental question you have asked. Titanium. So let me tell you first, titanium is called a wonder metal. And why it is called wonder metal? Because it has a very wide, especially because of its lightweight and high strength ratio. It is a lightweight and high strength. So it has a tremendous application in the area of aerospace, and other side also it has a very good corrosion resistance, especially against the seawater.
Right.
So if you see that this material can work on the above the ground in the aerospace, and other side under seawater. So if I am clear about the application, then I can proceed further.
Sure, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Yeah. So because of this nature and very good properties, and in addition to that, other properties also, high temperature, then it can work under high temperature. So all those properties make it very unique material. And MIDHANI, our company, we have the expertise of this alloys from last 25 to 30 years. We are working on this alloys. So we have the complete control of the process. Now you have asked about the raw material. Raw material in this case today, we are depending on the import. Raw material we are not able to manufacture in India. Again, it is the economy of scale because our requirement of raw material of that is called titanium sponge is only 800 tons to 1000 tons max. And the plant is economical if you go 5,000, 10,000 tons. So that's why our production of titanium sponge in India, even though it is taking place at a very low scale, its cost is very high. So we have to depend on totally on the import of the titanium sponge. And with the current world scenario, which we see in the like in the aftermath of Ukraine and Russian conflict, there is definitely very much pressure on the supply chain of this material. So we are also getting affected, and but so far we are able to manage, and that's why earlier when we are discussing about the some of the requirement of inventory also, probably that is also one of the reasons why we have to stock some more quantity so that we should not suffer for want of material in the immediate future. So
Correct. And
what is there, and our target is that whatever we are producing today, from there plus scale we are going to almost double our production. So we are setting up a facility, new facility is coming up, where my titanium production will going to increase by 2 times.
okay. And sir, what are the products that you are manufacturing in titanium right now, and when will this new facility come up, the capex and the new products that will be there?
Titanium we are producing right from heavy forging to even a small thickness of wire also. So MIDHANI product is diverse. We make plates, we make seats, we make foil, we make the rings, and we are also making different castings. We are making different types of assemblies. So titanium production, in our case, we are making any size and shape you ask, MIDHANI is capable to make that.
Okay. And sir, who is the competition in the titanium business directly competing with us in India?
India, so far, industry called PTC has come up in Lucknow, and they are doing only in the one of our product, that is titanium casting.
Okay.
But
Okay, got it.
future people may enter in this business, we do not know. But this technology is slightly difficult, so it takes time for people to adopt.
Thank you. Roman, I'll request you to come back in the question queue for a follow-up question. The next question is from the line of Ranjit Sivaram from Mahindra Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Congrats on good execution. Though the total bottom line is a bit stretched, so just wanted to understand, because this, as we look at the broad commodity prices have come down. So was there any inventory related readjustment in the income statement this quarter because the prices have come down?
Prices of, I don't think anything has come down so far.
Only
In fact,
commercial steel prices have come down, not the special steel.
yeah.
Usually only like MS or SS, there the price...
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, but you're sounding a little distant. May I request you to speak a little louder?
Yeah.
What we are not using that commodity steel in our manufacturing. So what you are talking about, the price is those areas where the prices have come down. We are also, I tell you that prices, our raw materials are mainly nickel, cobalt, moly, tantalum, niobium. So there the prices have not come down, in fact. So there is a pressure on the price as on today also. So I don't see any reason that we have to adjust because of that. And so I think that is will give the answer. Any other queries you want to make on
Sir,
that?
when I read your annual report, you have this R&D tie-up with carborundum for ceramic-based armor plates. So, how large is that opportunity? Will everything will shift to ceramic, and Like, what is the status of that? Will that be manufactured in carborundum facility and assembled over Rohtak, or will it be
I think this is carborundum. You have seen in context with one of our products called bulletproof jackets. With carborundum, we are trying to see only that silicon carbide ties we wanted to procure and see that with using that ties, we wanted to make the bulletproof jackets. So this is still in the R&D developmental mode. But if that development is completed and we are through in our development, you might have seen a lot of requirements are coming for the bulletproof jackets, either from the paramilitary forces or from the armed forces. So there are immense potential in that area, but nevertheless also we have lot of manufacturers in that field also. Jackets and all, a lot of people are there in India to make them. So how much we are able to capture, we will tell you whenever we get the certain amount of orders. But that is in context of the development of a specific products. It is not the substitute of the metal which we are discussing.
Okay, okay. So you are not substituting the current metal with that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, and sir, this Rohtak, when do you expect this Rohtak facility will be in 100 in terms of a utilization level at a normalized level, and what kind of revenues can we expect from Rohtak, if not this year, next year onwards, and incremental revenues?
This year we are targeting around 100 crores. But let us see. We have the order book. Order is there. We have the order. We have to execute and complete. But there are certain constraints on the supply chain. So we are facing some problem in completing all orders. But we are making an attempt to get almost 100 crores of sales coming from the Rohtak facility this year.
Okay, and in terms of the future growth opportunities, like in future, if we are going for this, Rafale is currently now imported. So is there any chance that the future Rafale, the material technology and requirement will be done by us instead of importing from France? Is there some thought like that, or for any other major aircraft we can look as we being the sole supplier of the material?
First of all, I will tell you, MIDHANI cannot claim today that we are the sole supplier of the materials, because in India, a lot of other companies, they have come up with the various facilities in the area of special alloys production. Only advantage with us that our alloys are certified for the aerospace applications. Now coming to the Rafale is basically the structural part today is completely composites. So we have to go for the composites, then only we can make. That is number one. Number two, coming from the aero engines, the aero engine is either Safran or GE, whatever aero engine they buy, it is being supplied through the complete setup of OEMs situated elsewhere. Now, unless India develop its own aero engine, or some OEM can set up the facility in India and then utilize our material, certified material, then only it is possible to enter in their domain. So that's why recently it was felt that why not we should Indianize the materials for Sukhoi, which is, you know very well, it is a Russian origin. So we are working towards that. So definitely, as you progress, the one development will give the chance of getting the other one. So we are working towards that and see that how our company can capture the other market if it comes to operate in India.
Okay, and sir, lastly, if I can ask one more, like if I look at the overall space opportunity now, that most of the space engines are now cryogenic, or everything is going to be manufactured in India. So what is our overall contribution in this space as a segment, and how do you see that?
Yes, yes, our contribution has been immense. Today also, rocket motor casing, then material required for various fuel tanks, then also we use for cryo and semi-cryo, special castings, special steels, special alloys. They're all going from MIDHANI only. So, but then as I rightly told, the future, the other manufacturers also are coming up. So we have to, but then market share that their volume also is going up, because there's a big ambition or big plan for Indian defense industry, and that is if those plans are come into the reality, definitely MIDHANI also will get benefited. Our volume also will increase, and maybe other also. We have one advantage, that our materials have proven from last 35 years. So they can have more faith. But then the price also is the one factor which we have to be very competitive.
Thank you. Ranjit, I'll request you to come back in the question queue for a follow-up question. The next question is from the line of Chiranjit Singh from DSP Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So my first question is regarding, overall order inflow scenario, maybe the tenders which you would be seeing in the pipeline. If you can, tell us in terms of, how defense segment could see the growth, space and nuclear. Are we seeing, good pipeline building up? That's my first question.
Yeah, order flow, we are expecting that whatever order position is there as on today of 1,500 crores, order book will remain after closing of this financial year also. This is our expectation. And we are also trying to see that how we can get the other product also in our fold, which includes the export, which includes the certain things required from our white plate mill as it progresses. If we get convert into some of the product into the large volume, then that order also may expected. But these things are all a future for which our team, MIDHANI's team, is working very hard. And as we progress, as we get some good business in this area, definitely we'll be telling to the investors. So, but as you have rightly told, there is a lot of requirements coming out from these sectors right now. So we are also hopeful that whatever best we can capture will be advantageous for us.
And sir, if you look at, there was a lot of CWIP also in the process. And so what is our gross block right now? And on that gross block, what is the kind of, asset turns and, revenue generation which we can do?
This question I'll give it to our Director of Finance to answer here.
If you see our gross block presently 937 crores, and with the addition of 982 after capitalization, one more addition of 100 crores will come. Nearly, you can see it by the year end, it will be 1100 crores. And we are expecting at the same level of as our CMD was telling, it is 1000 crores. Seeing that all the whatever new facilities have come, if it is stabilized and if it reaches some production level, we can easily reach same level of gross block as our revenue.
So, but the asset turns here will be like, we have already talked about 2 times, so it should be much higher top line, what we can deliver?
I could not understand your... You are talking the asset turnover ratio you are telling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Asset turnover ratio...
Asset turnover ratio normally will be seen total assets. Our total assets are nearly 2,900 crores. You take only if you take non-current assets, it is around 1121 crores. At that level we can achieve, but if the total 2,900 crores or 3,000 crores once it is achieved by the year end, our turnover will be around 40%.
Yeah.
35 to 40%.
Okay, sir. Sir, on the space side, we had earlier seen, there was a weakness in terms of the launches. How is that opportunity building up now going forward? Are you seeing the traction going to pick up on the space front?
Yeah, we are also listening through media only, and also recently also I have seen there was news that more than 300 satellites are already in the queue, and ISRO is having the good business to utilize that opportunity. So definitely those things, if you have to go into the orbit, you need more and more launch vehicles. So I see that it will pick up now as the time goes on.
Okay. So lastly, if you look at, from BDL's perspective, so, Astra and other missiles, now there's an increasing need where, more domestic missiles will be kind of integrated with the current platforms. So how do you see that now shaping up going forward, especially from Astra and the other missile programs? And what percentage of that order, if, BDL gets, can benefit Midhani?
Are you talking about Astra? Astra is definitely, but the induction of Astra every year is hardly 100, 150, 200. They are not beyond, much beyond that. So corresponding to that, we are getting the orders, and we are only supplying the materials. But other missiles like Akash is already, we have given all the materials required for the Akash. Unless they get the fresh order, then only we can get for the Akash. And also we have certain other missiles which they are producing for naval applications and all. So we are supplying some materials in that.
Okay, but on an annual basis, is there any, number which you can highlight that, from the missile programs, how much revenue which we can achieve as more of these missiles get approved?
Right now the exact figure I'm not having, but I understand almost last year how much we have done? Missile? 200. So last year we have done around 200 crores business. This year also maybe similar to that, coming from the missile sector.
Okay, sir. So just lastly, on the nuclear side, what we are seeing is there's a lot more traction when the orders are getting placed to the pumps manufacturers and the other, larger contractors. So on the nuclear pipeline, anything you can highlight for us?
Yeah, nuclear business also projects are getting on the fast track now, but so far what we are involved in the manufacturing of certain products like lattice tube we are supplying already, and we have some new requirements also. I hope it will be coming up, but again there also Midhani is not the only supplier. We'll have a lot of competition in that. Another idea is that some requirement for superalloys for steam generator tubings. So already we have one order which we are executing now, and also participating in some other orders also. So we are, whatever is our product range required for the nuclear business, already we are working with them. But pumps and all is not our domain, which is done by and even the steam generator also is being done by either L&T or some other companies. So we are only supplying certain raw materials.
Got it, sir. That's all from my side. Sir, thank you for taking my questions.
Thank you. Next follow-up question is from the line of Ankit Shah from Wide Equity Investments. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my follow-up. On the precious metals scam that that you shared the last quarter, can you update us on the progress on that? And as a follow-up, are we looking at appointing some some better internal auditors, let's say reappointing E&Y or anybody else to strengthen our internal controls?
We have already our internal auditor is there, and they are already taking care of our all this auditing system and all. You know that we are having a quarterly review of all audit results, and it is being monitored by external independent directors are there on our board. The systems are in the well placed. Requirement of the consultants arises when you have some specific problems. So for which also recently Ministry has appointed certain consultants, and they have submitted the report on our business growth plan, and which we are considering, and we are trying to see that how it can be implemented.
Okay. And an update on the precious metals scam that happened.
Which one?
Sir, there was a precious metals scam. CBI had arrested some people.
Oh, okay. That was the small theft took place. It was basically theft of a scrap, not in the precious metal. It was theft of the scrap reported in the media, and the people involved in some contract workers, some security staffs, they were being arrested, and then later on it was investigated. But it is not related to any precious metal. It was a scrap which normally used recycle in our system.
Right. Can you share some light on the same as to what was the quantum of the scrap that was stolen? Or
I am not the right position to, because they are already investigation is done by CBI, so that information lies with them. I am not right to say that, but so what they have given in the media also, and what we have also seen, that 950 kgs were intercepted by CBI. Beyond that, we don't have the information.
Thank you. Ankit, I'll request you to come back for a follow-up question. The next question is from the line of Rohit from Progressive Share Brokers. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So 3 or 4 questions. The first one, you're saying that Q3 and Q4 you will see a pickup, and that is slightly bit of bullish commentary to reach 1,000 crore. So, sir, what are the factors that will cause this? One, is it because there's a slight change in the product mix, or is it because of the short cycle kind of orders that you have, or is it because of the absolute ramp up that you'll see in the plant?
No, I'll just both the things are not required in our case. Our conversion cycle time is slightly on the longer one, because we are dealing with the very precious materials. So the number of steps required for processing those materials are quite large. And that's why you'll see that whatever we produce, let's say in the first quarter, I was sometime able to do supply in the second quarter or in the third quarter. Because the gestation time for the material from manufacturing to supply runs in the average almost 7 to 8 months.
Okay.
So this is the reason for precisely for getting up so much WIP. Nothing else. Otherwise, beyond that.
Okay. And so you did touch upon certain issues related to Russia, Ukraine, and raw material and nickel, molybdenum. So going forward, do you think you'll be able to maintain the EBITDA margins of 30-33% that we usually have?
Right now, I see with the available product mix, it may be possible to maintain that. I'm not seeing any reason why it should not be there. But then, the factors are there where we now see, as I told, cost of production has gone up because of the raw material cost. And also, we have taken the orders with the fixed rate from the customer. So definitely it is going to give pressure on our margin. So far it has not been reflected because of certain measures which we have taken to reduce the consumption of raw material or improve our efficiency. Let's see how we are able to take up the challenges in the future. But we have some action plan on hand to take up those things like reduction in the consumption of raw material, pure raw material.
Usage of more scraps.
So more scrap recycling for getting the. So those things are in the line now.
Okay. So if I were to break the order book into defense, space, railways, and others, how would that be currently?
Yeah, order book position, I have worked out around 40% is coming, 40 to 55% is almost defense now.
Okay.
Space is coming around 35% order book position today.
Okay.
And balance around, you say armor is around 3.5%, 4% like that.
Okay. So my last question is related to the NALCO JV. Since last 3-4 years, there has been absolute delay in that. So, sir, any thoughts on what is causing this delay apart from the land acquisition issue which was there? Or are you looking at some new property or land where you would go ahead with this Utkarsh Aluminium Dhatu Nigam Limited?
First of all, I tell you this project is not derailed. This project is of very high value in nature. So once a company like MIDHANI wants to invest, it's hard, is earn money, where we have you told that our margin is quite high, and then we are keeping the equity in that project. We have to see that our return on the investment should be good. So considering that, since project evaluation was done 4 years back to get the certain amount of return on investment, we thought this is the right time we should re-evaluate that in the current world scenario and then take a call whether we should invest or not. Probably that is the one reason which has made us to give some time, take some time, which is already on the way now, and we expect that in couple of months we'll get the right information. If the inputs are encouraging, coming from the consultants, we will definitely take up the project fast. But on the ground, you know, lot of work we have done, all clearances are there. We have consent to establishment, we have taken the pollution control approval, we have taken the approval from the Ministry of that Environment and Forest clearance is there. So all clearances are there now, and also we have appointed a consultant which can go for engineering procurement and management system for civil construction and all. So these things are already in place. We will be giving you the right information at the appropriate time. Even our phase 1 construction, for phase 1 also tendering is over, and we have already shortlisted the firm which can take up our first phase construction, first phase technology as well as the equipment supplier. That also has been finalized. But then, as I told, investment, before going for investment, we need that clarity, and then only will come to the board for getting the approval for investment.
So when do you think that the phase 2 could also be completed, if at all the returns are favorable for us?
Phase 2 also action is already in hand. We have made already tender documents is ready. Moment we see that phase 1 is clear, phase 2 also will float the tender.
Okay. Sir, our approximate investment would be in the range of 1,500 crore. Is it fair to assume that?
The total investment is 4,000 crores for this project.
Okay.
And that's why our equity is not sufficient, which I told you. So that's why even if you go to any investors also for money and the bank, you have to go with the proper business proposal. So precisely we are working for that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you for answering. Thanks a lot, sir.
Right.
Thank you very much. As there are no further questions, I will now hand the conference over to Mr. Amit Dixit for closing comments.
Yeah, thanks, moderator. I would like to thank everyone for attending this call and fruitful discussion that we had this afternoon. I would now like to hand over the call to Dr. Jha for any closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, I'll tell you at the end. I'll tell you this. Quarter 2 has been very, very difficult for us because the prices have gone up for all the commodities. In this situation, maintaining the profitability has been a big challenge. But again, I appreciate your patience and the customer's confidence that we are able to get this type of performance at present. But definitely we'll try to see that our performance improves further and we can establish MIDHANI as one of the important company where investors will have the interest. And also now we are entering our 50th year of our formation. So this is the golden jubilee year for our company. The day starts clocking from today. So we see that in this period company should do a lot of project establishment and products. So we are trying to see that we can get a very good performance from this company overall.
Thank you very much. On behalf of ICICI Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.
Thank you.